Hello, this is 3020 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and these amazing and wonderful people have agreed to come and play a game with me tonight, which makes me happy. These amazing and wonderful people are in no particular order, except I'm going to use an order so I don't forget anybody because that was the second most humiliating thing I've ever done on stream. Sean, let's talk to you first. What do you do when you're not
Ooh,
here?
uh,
Where can we
work
find
for a
you?
living.
Oh no.
Work for a living, unfortunately.
Oh,
Yeah,
bringing us
not
down.
independently wealthy yet.
Yeah.
So, but basically, working on getting my charity games back up and going for this year, as well as I got shanghaied into helping my host store. He had a DM cancel on him, so in 2 weeks I will be hosting a couple games for some kids at the local library.
Oh, fun.
So
Oh,
it's basically kind
Oh,
of
nice.
getting back out there and just doing the public thing before I get back to the charity ones.
Oh,
So
now you've given me a mighty need to go and run a game for kids because the self-control that I would have to exhibit to not have parents talking to me rather sternly after it was over.
and they will be there. That's the
Oh yes,
thing.
yes. But I figured a way around it. If I can get at least three of the dads on my side, I might live. They can block the door while I run. Anyway, let's not talk about my future. Let's talk about somebody else. Let's talk about Primus.
hello everyone. My name is Aaron, or you can call me Primus. You can find me on Twitter at Primus_cast. You can find me here every Friday that we're here, playing the glorious Chad himself, Mickey O'Houlihan. You can also find me on Tuesdays over at Charlie Xavier D&D here on Twitch. I don't believe we're playing this week, but I play June Seabreeze over there in Dragons of Stormark Isle.
Whew. Oh, let's just keep going around a circle. Playing Blake this evening. We have Solar Dasher.
I
You have been many places, some of which I see you. What are you doing when you're not here?
I starting to pick up more work again, but I might try and start streaming again as well. I have been affiliate like a million years ago, it feels like.
Yeah.
And still have not quite celebrated that yet. So I'm probably gonna do that at some point and play some Jackbox games and whatever else. And then I got a couple projects we're working on that I can't talk about.
Oh, one of the the cast we can't talk about. Being run by the GM we can't talk about. Running
About a story we can't talk
the
about.
story we can't talk about, and it's gonna be wondrous. Uh that's okay because 90% of the
It's the
people that are watching
proverbial
this
onion.
know. So most of the people that are watching us right now are probably in it. But never mind. Let us move on to Eddie and go.
Hi, my name is Eddie Elfman. I'm an Edmonton-based voice actor. You can find me on my Linktree on the variety of different social medias that I perch upon, waiting for anyone to poke me about any future projects, as well as waste a lot of time on there. Besides those social medias, though, you can find me here, same time, more or less, same place on Monday evenings, playing a Buffy the Vampire Slayer TTRPG. That is strangely good, like strangely
Oh,
just works. And if you ever want to have like a writing excuse and you wanted to be like, what would Buffy look like 20 years later? It's a good character example.
it
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
It absolutely is. It has stunned me every single episode. We keep saying it's more Buffy than Buffy, and you guys are doing it live on off the top of your heads. This is it's a passion play in the best sense. It is a bunch of people who are passionate about a story and passionate about a world who get together and just be it. They're not acting, they're not pretending, they're living their fantasies, man. They're in the game, they're in the show. So tune in to do that on Monday nights. Tuesday nights we have Carnage Heights. Thursday nights we have Can't Talk About It Yet. Friday nights we have this. Saturday nights, almost to make up for the fun and frivolity of this, we have Dead to Rights, which is sad, miserable, and nasty, and the characters refuse to get better. I have never had players who refuse to heal their psychic damage before. It's oh Anyway, that's us. That's here. Tonight, we are playing using the system from Stealing Stories for the Devil, a different world, different application, but the same system. And it has many parts to it, and it is great and wondrous fun. And the people over at Monty Cook Games deserve many clappings because of it. We are also off screen. You can't see it, but we're using Roll20 as our virtual tabletop of choice for some of the rolling. Other than that, if you feel it feels like something you'd like to join us doing, and I literally mean it, if you want to come on stream and play, games are coming up all the time. Games, one shots. Come to our Discord, join that, and be part of the family, and we will figure it out from there.
Yep.
With that, let's get to this game. Good grief, it's already 13 minutes past the hour. Not like it matters. Not like it makes a damn bit of difference. But making your way back. Well, 3 of you are making your way back to Callum's place. 1 of you is on the back of a motorcycle barreling through downtown London in an apparently random series of connections and directions while holding a skateboard and wondering about the people that are legally responsible for you and what they might be thinking right now, I presume. The 4 of you you've split up to avoid the inevitable mayhem that resulted in what you just did. You make your way back to Callum's place. I want to find out from you, who do you think got there first?
I
There's a
feel like we should roll
motorcycle,
for
a Fiat
this.
500. We can do that. Sure, absolutely.
There you
Let's make it technically a. Yeah, tell me what skill you want to use for this.
I actually
wanna
have
see who-
driving.
I want to see.
I have driving too. So
2. Like you have it twice.
yeah, I have
Oh,
I have 2 skill points in it.
Okay, so that's a D10.
Yeah.
Just a driving to get you there. Yeah.
I got fast.
Yeah, it's average.
You're fast. Okay. Yep.
G8.
Sure. Yep.
Tracking.
Fair enough. Yep. GPS. Yes. So, D8,
have-
a D8, and yeah.
I have balancing, so I can not be a bad passenger on this motorcycle.
Okay. Balancing. So that's another D8. So,
D10.
a D10. Oh, you got 2 levels of it. Wow. Okay. In that case, you actually actively move the weight to help in the steering. So, Blake, you got a D8 and a D10. Mickey, you got a D10, and Ted, you have a D8.
Yep. All right.
So there we go. Blake, you got there first.
Okay.
You get to a stop in front of Callum's house. You look around. There's no little Fiat. There's no. Oh my goodness, what were you in?
Blake was on the crotch rocket.
Yep.
Ted was on the Fiat. I was in a DB5.
You were in the DB5, right? Okay, right. So yes, Blake, you screech to a stop in front of Callum's house. You look left and right. Neither one of these guys is there yet.
I'm gonna go ahead and go into the garage to put the bike away.
Fair. Tyler, this is, as we described it the first episode, this is the most bland street in the most bland section of a bland part of London that you can possibly, like, it's one of those you could get lost here even if you weren't drunk, kind of repetitive streets. And yet, as if they know where they're going, Blake down into this underground parking lot.
Do you like live here? This is like the equivalent of like boiling your food, but for housing.
You'll see what's going on here as soon as the others get here. I'm just the fastest on the land, apparently.
5 and a 6.
Hey,
Okay. At that, you hear outside the distinctive sound of a Fiat 500 roaring towards the place. Because Ted, you're next.
Yep. So come in as I'm coming around that last corner. It's like, I can see the straightaway, and I'm like, okay, and I see her pulling down into the garage.
Yeah.
And I sit there and just, but I keep looking over my shoulder to make sure that make sure I'm still ahead of Nick.
Yeah.
And I'll just follow her down into the underground there.
Down into the underneath. Absolutely. Mick, I mean, I'm making excuses for you. It's a priceless artifact. It's the suspension's not as
no.
good as the Fiat. No, you tell me. Yeah.
Mick is taking this on a luxury cruise like he is James Bond, post villain. Like
Yep.
he is just cruising along, not a care in the world. Big old sunglasses on.
Oh
his
yeah, one of those
short
misty
mohawks.
London. Yeah, one of those misty London nights, and you're just doing the yeah. Oh yes, absolutely.
And he does that fancy like spinning slide stop into the parking spot where he like does like a complete 360.
Ooh, in the underground parking. I'm gonna need a driving for that. I need a D10.
I'm doing it. We're doing it.
Yeah.
Oh dear lord. Just
Yeah,
my
you're
luck.
doing
It's
it all
fine.
right.
I mean, to be fair, you stole this car, so in one sense, it probably doesn't really matter. But yeah, whoop, just like the videos, like every video ever, the power gets away from you, and you tear off the rear quarter panel of your car as you screech to a stop. But you get out and walk away like it's still cool. Like that's my guess.
It'll buff out. It'll buff out. It's fine.
Yeah.
Really, Mick?
I've got some ability to repair some things, but yeah, I'm not touching that. I don't want my fingerprints.
Spades.
I'll
Yeah.
stick with my crotch rocket. Thank you.
Yes. So
So I guess we should be taking them upstairs and meet Callum.
Yep.
This will be fun.
I just want to say, not my fault this time. Not my fault this time. I took the blame last time. What are you two taking the blame this time?
He rode with Blake. Not it.
How big is
I'm a
this
gentle
parking?
person?
How big is this this parking garage?
I'm honestly, I know I made it, but I'm really surprised there is one in London, given the water table. But it's big enough for a row of townhouses. So one block.
Okay.
So it's big
Yeah.
and echoey.
Yeah.
And
No,
long and sort of-
I've got an idea. It's like my apartment where it's above ground covered parking, and then all the apartment blocks are above it, so you don't have to worry about the water table.
Yeah. We're just gonna pretend the water table doesn't exist because I like brownstones that sit on the ground. They gotta have
You're
that
fine.
sub basement anyway. Like the bottom floor has to be half in the ground. But never mind. So
We lied it into existence.
we're going with it's almost it's big. So anyway.
Big enough to where we can have a different car every day of the week.
Oh yes, yeah.
Definitely taking out the skateboard and like going down it and like seeing what cars are around. And
The
just
noise. Oh, that
checking out
noise.
everything, and not many rocks here, and he's
Oh,
feeling out the vibe.
for sure. Absolutely with the camera on, I presume. That
Yeah.
fluorescent box lighting going over as you roll through this parking garage. That noise of the hard tires on the concrete echoing back as the noise cancellation tries to do something about it but can't. This is a hit.
Yeah.
This is a scene. And as you get to the bottom of the stairs, eventually the rest of you catch up, and it just opens into a hallway, and you guys know second door along is Callum's.
Yep.
Much like the door on the front, this one also, when you turn the handle, goes. I say this mostly for Tyler's benefit. When they turn the door handle, it goes pff, like an airlock, and then slides into the wall like Star Trek. Even though it looked like a perfectly normal door on a perfectly normal apartment.
Does it make like a cool sound effect?
Oh yeah, just the pff, yeah.
He's gonna be precautious and let other people go forward.
Yeah.
Walk in, head on up towards there. Just start pouring the whiskey.
As Blake walks in, they're gonna grab that character and just the teenage girl. I forgot the name, sorry.
You're gonna grab my character?
I'm gonna grab the character's ear and
Oh
drag
no.
him. Come on, kid.
I'm not cool with that.
No. Yeah. We need to.
Alrighty. That is interesting. I'm looking for all the different skills. Physical skills would have to be that, right? Or
Great.
hand to hand.
Graceful, fast, yeah, hand to hand if you want to slap it out of the way.
I have stealth. Also cleaning.
Okay.
Actually, you said you were hanging back, so I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here, actually, and take away any issues about agency in the process. Blake, you turn and spin to grab him, and like he's 13, he's fucking gone. Like he's just like he's over there
that'll
already,
work,
right?
that'll work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, what?
Yeah.
Little rat. They just walk in.
Whoa. Huh. He's probably, yeah, like the only direction to run away was like into the thing and going, maybe don't like try and grab me. That's felt a little forceful.
Yeah, let's get your butt in here, kid.
Ah. All right. I thought you were the nice one out of the group.
Maybe. Maybe not. Just get in here.
Okay. He remembers that one of his skills is unarmed combat.
There you go.
As you
As
step
he
in,
recalls all his judo lessons that his
Yes,
parents forced him into.
parents paid for. Look stupid in the gi, but you could throw people all over the room. As you step in, there's that moment as you cross the portal. The rest of you are used to. Well, at least you've experienced it a couple times now. That Irish Spring, right? Is basically it just smells like sort of heather and soap. And as you step in, as usual, down the hall, you can hear sports in the background. This time, actually, Tyler, you would absolutely recognize it. They're listening to NFL football. It's a preseason game, so it's one of those ones that's like 96-2 already, and they're not even at halftime. All the real big players, name players are out, and it's just yahoos and idiots in there. It's just a bench warmers game from this point on. So the quality of the game has gone down. And you all hear, but for the first time, Tyler, you hear this thick Scottish accent. Ah, your father was a purple pricked baboon and your mother was a slow-moving marmot. What the hell kind of throw was that? You can throw forward in this game and you still can't fucking play. Oh shit, that's the door. And this huge, shaggy, bearded, red-haired face comes out of a door halfway down the hall. And he looks at you, waving, and goes, "What the fuck is that?"
That's a child, and that calls for you to start pouring the whiskey. We'll explain.
I didn't want to drink. I cannot give whiskey to a child. Sorry,
Oh,
lad.
no.
No,
For
wait
you
a
and us.
minute. Lad,
Not a-
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. It's a bit of a shock is all.
Okay. I'm supposed to. You're Callum?
That's me. Yeah, you've got me at a disadvantage.
We went back to a place where there was no buildings or streets or fish and chips, like you guys call it. It was just
His face.
wood
Building,
structures.
people, fish and chips. He looks at each of the other ones in or like what? You went back in time with this lot.
You want to get that whiskey going yet?
Yeah, I would actually like some this time.
Mitch, Callum, I think you're gonna need about 4 fingers of whiskey for this story. Look, if we're being honest, like this is a full 4 fingers of whiskey kind of story.
You can have all the fingers you want if you answer me one fucking question. Who's gonna tell his mum?
Yeah.
You?
Oh, I share my location history with her all the time. She knows I'm on a school trip. As long as I'm, checking in every once in a while, she'll be okay.
A school trip? From where?
Oh, from the New World. She doesn't know where he's from, what time he's from.
All right, I see what you're doing there. I got it. America then.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Nice
The United
accent, by the
States.
way. It sounds very natural on you.
Where are you from?
And he looks down. He's wearing like a yellow and black kilt and the full sporran and the whole thing. Ah, from Scotland, lad.
There's just like the museums that he passed through in the first couple weeks that he wasn't paying attention to, and goes, "Yeah, you're dressed like like a soldier in,
Don't say
in
it.
the."
Don't say his name.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like a soldier in the English army. Like you guys have your own separate thing, right? And you play the.
English army, and it's just like both eyes are kicking one after the other. It's just,
I'll pour my own. Okay. And
you
Ted
just
just
walk
walks over
past
to the
it.
back.
Yeah, Blake's
just-
about 3 or 4 fingers already
Oh,
in. By
I
the time
love
he
this
puts in the
image
drink, shake
because
for drink.
yeah, Mick, are you heading in for drinks as well? Leaving just this huge hulking Scotsman and this.
You guys were like they'd like number it, and they'd be like the fifth like
Pretty
dragons
sure-
or something like that.
I'm pretty sure if Mick could magically man up that popcorn, he would be sitting there just eating popcorn
Just watching.
watching
Okay.
this. Because
Yeah,
this is golden entertainment for him. Because on one hand, you have a guy wholly out of time, and then you have the kid who is in touch with no reality.
Oh, he hates
whatsoever.
history. It's I absolutely love it. But yeah, he looks down at you because it is down. He's all right then. Let's leave a pin in that. Figure out how in the hell you went with them. Were you? Did you see him doing the thing? What was the thing? And he looks at the three of you.
Pull up a
Pull
piece
out the
of wood.
splinter, yeah.
It's like,
Right, well, you're on the beach with this lot.
I was ripping down the hill. Honestly, I was going by the bar trying to not hit any you know drunk people. I don't. I was trying to come up with a cool way to say that they were drunk.
No, it's all right. It's early in the morning and they were pissed. But that you're
They were
just
angry?
going by- Oh, sorry. They were pissed off.
Oh
there
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We're getting there.
Yeah, communication, that's the important bit. Speaking
Really
of
hard to understand you, but yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
communication is the important bit. But I'm still trying to figure out what you got in common with this lot. What did they? Has anybody? Lad, I don't want to be bold, but what's your name?
Tyler Nicky Jones.
Oh, for fuck's sakes!
What now?
Come in here with this lot, and he leads you into the living room with the other ones.
Sure.
So, Tyler, do you know what a hologram is?
It's when old people don't want to like let go of their favorite artist, so they like put them on a stage somewhere, and then like people just argue about whether or not it's like tasteful. Right?
Yes, that's exactly it. I'm sure. If I got the reference, but yeah. Anyway, I'm sure you're right. But here's the thing. Shit. I completely forgot where I was going with this. Sorry. Quick. I had a sip of my coffee and my brain left the room. What were we talking about? What were you-
Hologram.
Holograms.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you. Sorry.
Hologram, yeah, yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Age. Age is great. Thank you so much, Age.
Oh, I know.
And he looks
Is
down.
he
you s-
okay?
No, it's part of the time traveling thing. Speaking of time travel, it's just like that. But what if the whole world was like that, except for the judgy shit, because you're all inside it?
Like we're all living in the Matrix?
Yeah, that's it. Right, with the pills and everything.
Huh.
by the way, he didn't want to take one when I offered. So
No, it's
Well, I've got a sneaking suspicion he might not have to. Do you know what a clerical error is? A typo? I think it's called now.
yeah, spelling mistake.
Like Callum, I thought he was just being what they call woke.
No, I think he's really similar to what the rest of yous are. He's got a name a lot like yours, and he points to Ted, the first bit of yours. But his other part
Yeah,
of his
I
name is a
noticed
lot
that.
like yours, and he points at Mickey. So sometimes when you type shit wrong into a computer, it ends up in the wrong place. Just wondering, what with all the fucking about we're doing with this hologram, if maybe we broke the spell check.
Well, speaking of broke, might you be able to sit down and do a quick check to see what exactly? There may have been a few things that got broke this time around.
I've already said it wasn't my fault this time. It was everyone else's. I didn't do anything wrong this time.
Right. And he finally
Yes,
pours
Mick.
himself a drink. Sorry, Blake, go ahead.
I was just telling Mick to take a drink.
Yeah. And Callum pours himself a drink. He says, right then, the rest of you, congratulations. You changed almost 5 millennia history. There was a period, a long period, because of the isolation, and that no one else wanted to live in that shithole of a swamp that was the Thames before we developed irrigation. The nicest group of people that ever lived in that wee valley for a couple of 1,000 years. And it became sort of a habit. And people from around started coming in, they became famous for it. And then, as usual, the fucking Romans showed up and fucked everything.
Yeah, we
So
tried.
the 3 of you, congratulations. And he looks at Mick and gives you the glass like this.
Meg just drinks it and just sulks. Like
So-
straight up just sulks.
Yeah.
So no major side effects from this one.
Now, the Romans arrived just as usual, around 47 AD. They got to London around 125, 130 AD, and it's all just like it's written in the books.
What they do?
That's all wrong, by the way. They got there in 47. They set up London in 47, but you guys changed this. They actually landed in 47 in a different place and didn't get to London until almost 100 years later. What do you mean? What did they do?
They were excellent to each other.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Something about Bill and Ted?
No,
They were called the
no.
Bill and Ted people.
Huh. Tyler's just gonna pull up his phone and see if the Bill and Ted 3 movie that came out recently came out.
The Bill and Ted? Oh, the Bill and Ted movies came out, but they're historical documentaries.
Oh,
Done
I need to
comedically
rewatch these.
done comedically to try and get kids to watch. But yeah.
Huh.
Oh.
Oh no. And he checks to see that it was Keanu Reeves in the Matrix.
Yeah. Yeah.
He goes, no, I didn't ruin that man's life, did I? And he's just gonna dive into Keanu Reeves' life.
It turns out, we'll just make this canon now. You dive in afraid of what you may have done to find out that there's a magical, mystical, inexplicable shield around the Reeves. He is unaffectable. He is an item alone and is untouchable outside of history.
So in our lore, okay, sounds good. He goes, okay, well, it's not worse. That's good, I suppose. He's still really happy though, so that's okay.
Basically, he's this universe's Doctor Who.
I was thinking more of the keystone upon which it is built, and that's kind of your guys' loop of this hologram, but never mind. I'm thinking,
That'll work. I
I'm
like
thinking in
that.
circles, which is what I love about this.
He's a fixed point in history. He can't be changed.
So that's what you guys do. You all do, sorry. Is you try and go back in time and fix things and not try to mess up any of the things
Well,
now.
I kind of
And
already
this
did that.
hologram.
That was my
Yeah.
bad.
What
Yeah,
did you
yeah,
change?
Well, the key point there is try. That's what we try not to do.
Yeah. Okay.
I would tell you what happened, but I just get this feeling from you that once I start telling the story, your brain's just gonna go.
There's been like a few comments that are a bit ageist. I'm just gonna be upfront right now.
I
Because
was
communication
like,
is the best thing to say, but like if I'm gonna hang out with you all, we're a team, right?
Callum,
And not
watch.
like
I
a weird
meant it
power
more in the
imbalance with
sense,
strangers.
I just have this gut feeling that you really don't like history or talking about history.
Down, falling. Oh, hi.
Just if it's like if it's you know, like on a piece of paper and someone's telling you to remember a day and I don't know, it's if it was written by the wrong people as well, like it's
Callum
kind of
steps
rather
in.
focus on what's going on right now and make sure that I can live and my kids could live. And he like just stares at the people that are older
Yeah.
in the room.
Well,
Down,
simple answer for you.
down.
Something I did led to a lot more people dying, but it wasn't supposed to happen.
Down.
And a couple things we also did may have changed a slight history of another culture staying on the island a little bit shorter than they originally were supposed to, and making them go better for a bit and making them go worse for a bit. And then there's a few things that don't seem to be here anymore, but that's beside the point. As I said, we
Like
did a
more
lot of-
people died or more people were like never
Oh, a
born.
lot of people died. Oh yeah, a lot of people.
Oh, okay.
But they were. We're gonna call them bad people. Okay, we'll just say the bad people.
Tyler, at this point, Callum steps up to you and hands you a pint of beer. A big, thick, heavy British, like can hardly see through it, proper beer.
He just stares back at the old man and goes, I thank you.
Don't worry, lad, it's legal here. It's not got the archaic language that your country does. No offense, but have a beer, lad. I think you fucking earned it, didn't you? You're talking.
I don't
about-
really see substances as like a reward mechanism.
Right.
Oh, with as thick as that is, it's actually
It's-
a meal too.
It's like a coping mechanism for all the
Okay.
shit we do.
You know what, lad? I'm
Okay.
not going to tell you what to do. And he pulls the pint away and puts it over on the table out to the side. And he
Oh
leans-
no, if this is the first time someone's handed him a pint,
Okay,
he's
and you
literally
grab
gonna
it
hold
back?
on to that
Okay.
with a grip. He's still a 13-year-old
Yeah,
boy.
so he
and
goes
he's gonna
for the,
go,
Yeah. He's
no,
not
no, it's okay. And he's gonna
have a little sip. Absolutely.
okay.
And as you
Ah,
process
all
that,
right.
yeah, that taste
Ah.
of the why the hell would anybody willingly do this to themselves moment, he says to you, these folks here were talking about all the folks that died from the last decision. Well, 2 decisions ago. Nobody's talked to you about all the thousands and thousands and thousands that lived from what you lot just did.
We save, we save.
And with that thought, I'm presuming it was you.
What?
You young fella, I'm presuming it was you that convinced those folks from way back to be fucking, what was it? Be excellent to each other.
I guess it was weird that they kind of just did what I said.
Do you know
Usually
how
it doesn't
many,
work.
do you know how many people, lad, a happy group can make over 4,880 years, lad. Tens of thousands.
I think I'm understanding how you all are approaching it, and I think that uh you know, if I have great power comes with great responsibility, and I should be
You're no
active
Spider-Man.
with you all. I know. I wish that they would reboot it
or
in like round now, but Tom Holland's just too good, and like
Or,
half
like,
the
if
reason I
you're
want to be
me-
Spider-Man is because Zendaya. Sorry, what?
it's or if you're like me, it's great power comes with great stupidity.
Mm,
Oh, I don't think you're like stupid, man. You're just
nothing
yeah. I don't know. I don't know
You don't
anything.
know. You
I don't know
you
you. I
like
don't know you very well, but you don't seem stupid.
Callum turns to you, Mickey, and says, "Lad, there is not one human in the entire world that's not made a stupid decision from time to time. Hell, I made 4 this morning before I put my socks on.
don't think I want to know.
The trick is to fix it. Clean up after yourself, as it were. Make up for it.
like I don't think I can clean up after like the entire Balkans going to hell.
Then make up for it."
Okay.
Well, no, you got to remember now, Mickey. It's not your fault. We were all there. We all kind of had some influence on it, so it's not all your fault.
Was the Queen of England?
We backed you because it was the best option at the moment.
Yep.
So
There's a sound like an entire electrical power station shorting out. Just that bang. It's so loud you feel it. It's beyond what your ears can sense. And there's just sort of that shock wave that passes through the air. A bookcase on one side of the room flies across the room, hits the windows, which should shatter it and blow it out into the street, but it doesn't. It just hits the windows and shatters into 1,000 pieces and falls on the ground.
What was that?
You look where it was, and you can actually see a wireframe of the universe.
Callum,
What the
Yep.
hell's going on?
your
Don't-
house is glitching.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll put the wardrobe in front of it, and he starts to push this big, heavy thing in front of the hole in the wall. I will suggest, though, that we might move on a bit. That's 3 down, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
You might enjoy this bit, and he hits the screen, and they come up. You guys can see it in Roll20. I'm going to put it up for chat right now, and numbers 1, 3, and 10 are gone. So he again, this is we're gonna a lot of this is gonna end up focused through Tyler's eyes because it's the first time he's seen it all. You see this display come up on the window of downtown London, right? It looks exactly like the brochure that they showed you before they sent you here. You
Oh
probably
yeah,
at
yeah,
least
yeah.
glanced
I
at
have
it.
Google Maps open.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can see these numbers all over the place and these lists of things down the side. Some of them, I mean, hate the written history or not, you will have at least heard of some of these things, or at least some of them have interesting words in them. but I'll let you decide what he doesn't know. But just looking at this list, you can see the list of years down the side and that the numbers match the places. The one that you see, he kept talking about 4800 BCE, so you presume that first one that's crossed out, the first building on site, may be the one you were just at.
Okay. What does everyone want to do next?
Under bridges falling down.
There was some talk about that one last time.
Huh?
There's a wee box under the bridge, sort of a time capsule, and it's got a bit of the original bridge in it.
It's got a spike from one of the original
That's
spike from the original
illegal.
bridge.
And when you touch that, then you'll do the thing you did before, except you'll go to a different place and be apparently faced with a different decision to make.
Okay. Is it like on the underside of the bridge?
It is, yes.
No, we
Mhm.
do need Spider-Man.
I can walk up it.
You can what now? Says Callum.
I can walk up it.
How do you presume you do that?
So
She takes off her shoes because she doesn't want to leave marks on the ceiling and
Yeah.
just walks up a wall and hangs down next to Callum.
What? Stop.
Right.
Stop. What's going on? It's gonna
So-
double fist the beer.
So Tyler, I think you might agree things are gonna get a wee bit weird.
Okay, so there's Spider-Man.
No,
That's
You remember-
that's one of the things you can do. I told you it's a hologram, right? You can cheat codes. There's the phrase I'm looking for. The
Yeah.
wee pills I give this lot are act like cheat codes. You know what a cheat code is. It's written in your mind deeply and like it's always been there, so you didn't need one. You can just do it.
Okay. Okay.
Well, you remember when we were standing there and I had to sit there and kind of shock the bloke with the torch. He picked up the torch and was going to try to still burn it down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just like tase that guy.
Yeah, and he'll sit there and flick his wrist out. And
Does your wrist detach?
no, but it
Okay.
basically off the top of the wrist, it comes up out from there, and then it can shoot out and then it goes back in.
Yeah, it's a little recessed panel
Okay.
that has a weapon underneath it. Yeah.
Spins to Mickey and goes, What can you do?
I don't do that.
Looks at skill list.
Mickey just like looks around, and given that Callum is Scottish,
Yep.
I imagine he has like some sort of stuffed like taxidermy creature somewhere.
Oh yes, yes, of course. Yep.
So
It's a weasel. One of those Scottish
Good
weasels.
stuff.
Yeah.
so that's about about just short of 10 feet away from Mick, and Mick just looks at that, looks where he is, and looks back, and he just jumps and does a flying crane kick and just kicks it from 10 feet away.
I'll ask you to ask next time before you kick me in a weasel, but that is impressive.
That's
start-
not
Yeah,
thanks, Mickey.
He's starting to tilt. He's on about his third glass. He's still processing the new member of the team. This has never happened to him before.
but like I think the bridge thing might be okay. But like we
Did
could
you have a
also
plan?
maybe do the theater thing.
Theater.
That
Oh,
would be the
burning of the Globe Theater.
that would be the first of our museum heist.
Yeah, that would.
I think that's like probably the easiest of the three museums.
Oh yeah, because the other ones are going to be. Oh yeah.
Okay.
So
I think we should let the new person choose.
True.
You have any
I think,
questions about any of these events?
just because they can walk on the ceiling, let's do the one that requires walking on the ceiling for now. I guess we could like get a boat and then go underneath the bridge. right?
So,
Adults can buy boats. Right?
sure. Yeah.
There's talking about that bridge. There's been a way across the Thames about there for almost 4,000 years now. The present bridge has a wee time capsule built underneath it. As I said, there's a few rusty bolts and bits of work stone. They're from the first two serious bridges. Whether it's from all the traffic or just due to the passage of time, but these bits and bobs need to be moved before the bridge really does start to fall.
Oh dear. I'm on it.
We talked about moments, tension moments in history. I can tell you this one is absolutely on the brink. If you don't make the right decisions where you're going tonight, you'll come back to a city with no bridge.
Oh dear.
And that one has seemed to have been sort of embedded into the world's psyche, not just London's.
For millennia, there's been a way to cross the river there.
All right, so London Bridge it is.
Luckily
Okay.
for you lot, time didn't pass in here, nor does it pass when you're in, or pardon me, time didn't pass when you're in those other worlds. So you could do this all in one night. You may have noticed you've done 3 already and you're not even tired.
Oh no, I'm tired.
Well, I mean, no more tired than you were when you got here. I cannot be responsible for your real lives. I only get 2 hours every Friday. Sorry, that slipped out. Right then, you should get off. It's also 6:54. The 4 of you should get off to that fucking bridge and start the episode.
Talk about your fourth wall breaks there.
Oh yeah. If you guys aren't gonna do it,
Might as
All right.
well.
speaking of which, please do.
So-
But anyway,
Well, actually, I was trying to earlier, but I don't know if you guys are paying
I saw it. Yeah, Blake was talking to the audience. But with that, we're actually, because of the time, we're gonna time travel to the 4 of you standing at the base, one abutment.
Before
you
we
stuff,
do
yeah,
that,
stuff you want to do before you go. Good plan.
just
Yes.
before we do that.
Yep.
I know that Tyler said he's just always going to lie to people.
Yep. Oh yes,
Yep.
you get to choose. Thank you. We get to choose again which one we're going to do before we go.
What-
You guys get the pills. Tyler gets to.
What were you
choose.
guys looking to do this week?
I'm gonna keep doing the same thing I've been doing. I like it.
Okay, so you were doing which one?
I took the red pill,
The red? Okay.
planner.
So each of you go ahead and decide. And in fact, I don't even need you to tell me. You can tell me when I ask you what you're going to roll. But as you do that, because
Okay.
I love blind spots, they're the most fun. You see a cliff going into a cloudy tunnel. What do? I jump in a cliff. Okay. But now we get to build the actual plan, what you know. The bridge itself is busy 24/7. It's London Bridge. It's well lit and it's secured by cameras and watchtowers. That's the first beat that I'm giving you. So now, in the weird metagaming of this game, how do you counter that?
Well, very easy. There's a film being made.
Okay.
That's
And-
what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Is that it's sectioned off
Yeah.
to film something, so everyone's extras,
Okay.
and
What are they-
everyone's just going along with it.
Perfect.
And so
And
basically,
I can
traffic is controlled
yeah.
at this point.
As a
traffic
film
is
in progress.
controlled,
Perfect.
and I can actually help control the traffic too.
Perfect.
I
if
have
needs be, yeah.
electrical disruption.
Oh yes, absolutely. You get perfect. Okay, so filming in process. Somebody, this is a brilliant idea. I need somebody to make it even better by telling me the name of the film and nothing more about it.
Thunder Bridge is falling down.
No.
A documentary about the
It's-
bridge
it's,
falling
uh,
down.
It's John Wick 5.
No.
Oh no, that's
Albeit that would be cool.
Paddington 3.
What did you say, John Wick? What
I
was
said
it?
Paddington 3 was an option.
Paddington 3. Okay, so far we've got John Wick meets Paddington 8.
The Buckingham Gambit.
Ooh.
It's called the Buckingham Gambit. Paddington and John Wick team up to save the zombie queen from German Nazis from World War II. So it's a documentary.
On BBC.
Probably at the way we've changed
Yeah,
stuff.
it's on BBC
Yeah.
4, so they don't give a fuck about the truth.
Publicly funded.
Yeah, they're publicly funded and nobody cares about the truth. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
publicly funded and the truth don't matter. There we go. Let's move on. Second one, that's perfect. Under the bridge, where you guys have to go, is nasty, dirty, toxic chemical dumps over the years.
And this is where I'm gonna go ahead and play a card, I think.
Okay.
Wicked.
Hold
Yep.
on.
Remember the cards. They do stuff. They make things happen.
I have just the thing. If it decides it wants to go. Hold on.
Well, tell us what it is, and then there it went. Just the thing.
Just the
Literally.
thing.
You
That's
literally
what
have just the
they
thing.
said.
That's the card. Is just the thing. I planned for this. That's why I
Okay.
kept saying I wanted to go to London Bridge.
Perfect.
Ooh.
I knew of the ugly situation
Yep.
and the filming and the fact that there's zombies in it. So what I did was I've created a special zombie suit that covers, in this case, all four of us.
Yep.
It also
You
prevents us from getting like toxic anything and what have you. So it's more than just it's like a toxic suit, but looks like a zombie
It's an
instead.
oh yeah, it's got like the Borderlands mask, except it's functional. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And the makeup and the shuffle and the whole
Mhm.
bit. Perfect. So you guys are pretending to be extras. I love this game. There is one more thing that you find as you get there. Again, you can still change this as you arrive. There is
Mhm.
under the north end, which is closer to, where the unit is underneath the bridge. It's about a third of the way from the north to the south end. The north end of the bridge, there is a homeless community that's been there for ages, entrenched under that end of the bridge. The southern end, because they haven't treated the tidal plane under there, does not have that. So you can go 2/3 of the way from the south end without having to deal with a community, or if you go in through the north end, you would have to pass through a homeless community on the way. So it's kind of something that you might not have to deal with at all, which gives you a chance to now get one ahead of me if you just come in from the south, or you can respond to that. Either way.
The homeless community.
Okay,
knowing that. Okay.
I it's ridiculous, but I think it'll be fun. I also have a Just the Thing card.
Okay.
And as a part of this movie set, there is a jet ski chase scene.
up
So
the
there
Thames.
is
Of course there is. Yeah.
so attached to that, one of the anchor points of the bridge, there are just a couple of jet skis we can use to ride the rest of the way there to where we need to go.
Sure. So yeah, because there's pillars that stand up in the river. So yeah, you can get from the shore. You find as you get there, you find these jet skis, which will allow you to get right to the pillar that's closest to the thing. Perfect.
Mhm.
That gets you there. So I'm going to put a stop to that, because typically I would get one more, but I'm just not going to take one more. We'll just stop it there. So you are now at the bottom of that. Like London Bridge it's iconic, right? It's got the two verticals and then the long horizontal, and it's still 3 a.m, because really time only happens when you're at Callum's apartment and moving around in the city, so not much. And so it's still 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. The only thing moving are the fishmongers and the drunks, the last of the drunks who've forgotten how to get home. And you pull up to that moss-covered, rubber tire-wrapped bollard in the Thames that has to be sharp at both sides because it's a tidal river that kind of comes and goes. You scramble up onto that base, and above you, rising into the darkness, that huge stone tower. Blake, are you going up on your own, or are the rest of you going to try and climb?
Oh, I don't know. The rest of you, are you guys gonna follow?
Purely
Or am I gonna
mechanically.
get there and then maybe grab a tie a rope up there and have them climb up like that?
I was gonna say purely mechanically, that you could absolutely do that, but everybody else is gonna have to make a roll to get up there if they choose to go up there.
Do you need us to go up there, or does just one of you need to get in contact with it?
I think it's just one of us, right?
Well, depending on what you find when you get up there, however it's secured and such, you might need assistance.
Okay.
Tyler, you were further
Could-
away than
could-
this. Like you can
Could I
tell where it
say
is. Yeah.
that Mickey, before they got on the jet ski, stole a grapple gun from the set,
Sure. Yeah. Yes.
and he's just gonna use that and just pull himself up to where
Okay.
it is if he needs to.
I need you. Because I never roll. I'm so tempted to roll this, but I'm going to make you do it. No, I'm not. You're not particularly. Your character is not known for their blinding intellect. So you grab off the prop table, you grab this grappling gun. You get down to the bottom, you pull the trigger, it goes about 30 feet, just kind of goes and then falls into the river. The rope frees out, so you can bring it back in and you've got a rope now. But the grappling gun itself was a semi-prop. But this way you've got a rope at least. So I said yes, but.
Is it long enough to at least
Yes.
reach the?
Oh
Okay.
yes, it is narratively necessarily long. Blake, you got the easy job. You can literally just walk up this
Yep.
ancient history. As you start to climb, you start to wonder sort of what it might have been like here. Maybe that's what you start to wonder. It doesn't matter because what you start first, it's the smell. You can smell the river. The Thames is not a pretty smelling river. It's tidal. It's got flow. It's nasty. It's better than it used to be, but it's still not nice. But it's like the higher you get, the worse that gets. Like instead of climbing out of the miasma, it's like you're climbing into it. As you get closer, you can start to hear people yelling. And at first it's like they're angry, but then you realize it's more like a market. Say, herring, fresh herring, I got caught. You don't even keep yours out cold. And it's a marketplace as you get closer and closer. And then as you get really close to that box, and you can see it now, it's a welded box welded to the bottom of the girder. There is a little door on it, and it's just got a little ceremonial lock. But as you get that close where you can see the box, you can smell the fish. You can smell horses. You can smell donkeys, ducks, chickens. You can hear. It sounds like a whole village. It sounds like 500 people and all their critters are right there above you on the bridge. Is anybody else going to climb up or make an attempt to climb up with?
Well, I know one.
I'm assuming
once
you took the
Blake gets
rope
up
and
there.
left it. Yeah.
Um.
Sorry, Blake, was that right? Or you're taking the rope with you and then tying it
Yeah,
off?
I'm
up there?
taking the rope with me.
Yeah.
So they can, and then once I get up there, I'll attach it so they can climb up.
Fair enough.
But
Yep.
I do have lock picking, so I can go ahead and start picking the lock.
Easy. Yep. So give me a D10 for that. The other three, the rope, you see them tie the rope off at the top.
Okay. So
I'm just seeing.
So what's the? Just because Mick feels like he just because it's Mick, I feel like this would be hilarious. Is so like part of me wants to envision like the bases of these anchors. Basically, it's like two steel plates, and then there's a steel bar in the center, and then there's a gap.
Yep.
Mick is gonna American Ninja Warrior up
Crab
the
walk.
side.
Yeah. Okay. Rather than using the rope, absolutely. Yeah. Give me the what roll are you going to do with that? Give me that. What ability?
So it's hard because there's not a specific skill. So like the two I'm looking at is like unarmed combat because like he's constantly having to
Well, how about
maneuver like full body workout.
strong? Did you yeah? It's one of the options, but I don't know what you took. So I'll give you a second to think about it.
Ted's taking the rope.
Yeah, you're taking the rope up. So how you what do you suggest? What ability are you using to get up there?
Um, well, I'm gonna have to sit there. I took last time new skill that
Yep.
you said was the
Mhm.
one that
Yep.
I can pick the skill as needed.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I need to get the list of
Climbing is a skill.
Is climbing
Yep.
one of them?
Climbing
Then-
is one.
Anything?
Hey, you know he
anything
has
you
to
can
have
think of.
climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
What
You've
I had was
climbed, yeah.
clinging, and that's what I'm using is
Yeah.
clinging.
So yeah, that's gonna work. So yeah, bang. There you go. Write that in and cross off those
Yep.
the reserve. You can climb. So you give me a D8. We're still waiting to figure out what Mickey's. So far, he's only convinced me of a D6. And Tyler.
He sees Twitch chat popping off in his corner
Yes.
Yeah.
saying, fake. Wow. Haven't you ever seen Free Solo? Like you can do this and like being like, yes, I have. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just
Okay.
water. And he like looks at the gross water and he's like,
Yeah.
this will probably be okay. So he's gonna take climbing
Okay.
as a skill.
All right.
And
Love
he's
it.
gonna try and go up the stone facade and try
All
and
right. So
have that
D8s
work
from
out.
the two of you and Mickey.
Natural one.
Oh wow. Okay.
I got a 4 for my D10.
You got the 4. Okay. Well, yeah, you did.
I-
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
I had the 8.
I
for
saw
the
that.
8.
Yeah. Yeah. You're just
Noise.
arm over arm up this thing.
Perfectly balanced.
Mickey, what are you doing? What skill?
The thing is, I don't have an appropriate skill
Okay.
because this is
D6 then.
Mickey. So the best I could come up is he is just intuitively just searching out the best passable climbing path he can do.
Yep. So in that case, just a D6.
D8 or
Oh,
D6, yeah,
yeah.
whatever.
It's not a big deal anyway. So that's a 3. Blake, you no problem. Ted, you kind of that's good. This works because Ted, you just kind of up the rope, easy peasy. Yeah, Mickey, you get there eventually, but it's not pretty. It's a lot of scrabbling and pulling yourself up. It's more like a series of linked recoveries than it actually is an American Ninja show, but you get there eventually. Tyler,
Yeah.
you get started, you're like, yeah, I could do this. What distracts you?
We'll go something like innocuous. There's someone from his class that he has a crush on that goes like, oh my god, is that Tyler Nicky like from such and such like
Yep.
like class like D,
Yep.
and he's gonna be like, and he immediately like has the lock up and he's
Yep.
thinking about addressing it,
Yep.
and he's like, no, don't need to say it, and he's just gonna slip and eat it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one's
Here
good.
comes some personal homemade experience to add to this. You do that brain lock and you forget to hold on to the rope, and you just start to slide, and
Yeah.
then the next sensation you've got is rope burn on the inside of both of your hands. So you just go,
Through my fingerless gloves.
oh. So only the
Extra
hands are
bad.
getting like that's getting pulled on, but the fingers
Extra
are just
bad.
getting peeled. Yeah. So you do the only obvious thing, which is boom, and you
Oh.
start to fall
Yes.
backwards towards the Thames. But as you wait for that wall of stinky water to come up and smack you in the back of your head, you can see that your camera has kind of
Yeah.
fallen out of the pack, and is falling towards you. So this shot is going to be amazing. They're going to accuse you of like crane shotting this, right? And you're falling backwards. Blake, that's what you see. As you reach up, you had a lock picking, you kind of Blake, you picked the lock because you almost succeed. So what I'm going to do is the lock picks, the door falls open, and you see the spike through the piece of wood fall away from you. There's the spike.
Wicked.
As you look down, as the spike starts to fall past you, you see Tyler falling towards the water below you. The other two are climbing up. What do you do?
Let me see. I'm gonna keep I'm gonna use tracking
Okay.
to keep an eye on the spike,
Okay.
and I'm going to be agile
Okay.
and run towards it.
It's going to land in the
using
river.
The clinging, right?
Yeah.
Well, when I get flush with it, I'll jump and grab onto it.
I was going to say, as it falls, you would have a chance to grab it right there. So
Yeah.
yeah, you don't have to go anywhere. Just so yeah, give me agile or whatever. What skill do you think you should be using?
Let's do the agile then.
Okay. So give us. Are you agile? Very agile?
I don't remember.
If it's not on the list, then it's a D6.
It's on the list.
Okay, so it's a D8.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you how hard this is. An 8. Wow,
Wicked.
you're absolutely perfect at it. Your hand reaches and you're this close. You got a decision to make. Let go and catch this thing, or let it fall.
I will let go.
You get that extra inch just as your feet come unstuck from the wall. The unthinkable, Blake, you, of all people, are falling. You grab the spike with your hand, and that bang hits for all of you. Tyler, just as you feel like you got to hit the water, 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 and poof, you land in grassy, wet, spongy, mossy splot.
And grabs the camera.
Yeah, catches the camera. Yeah, so the shot does that out of exactly what it just did there. It goes out of focus as it watches your hand and then gets caught, and then, yeah, perfect.
Oh, where am I? He's gonna almost like NPC put it in the backpack as
Yep.
the 3D,
Yeah,
like third person spins around.
put it back in where it's supposed to go. Yeah, perfect. The
Exiting
other
a
three
cutscene.
of you find yourselves, Blake, you find yourself falling out of a tree. The other two of you find yourselves climbing a tree.
Well, that's way more convenient.
Blake, what are you doing? Tyler,
Face
Blake.
cleansing, apparently. No.
Blake's coming. Add speed. Falling out of the tree.
I will be agile and
Yeah.
I will dodge.
Okay, that you're D10 agile, right? Because you doubled it.
I'm just straight up
Oh,
agile.
just
I'm not.
okay,
I'm not
so
done. I'm
maybe-
quick-witted and I'm agile. That's a quick-witted thing, isn't
I'll let
it?
you help yourself. 2 D8s. Yes, let's do this. And Blake, you're plummeting out of the sky. Are you going to make an attempt to sort of land spread out, or
That's what I'm trying to remember.
basically it
Sorry.
would just be resisting damage? And it's fairly soft, so it wouldn't be that hard. In fact, it would only be, we're going to call it hard to resist damage in this case. So a 5 or a 6 would almost do it. 7 and up would do it. But yeah, you
Right. I was trying to remember what one of the feats I took was. Sorry.
oh, it's all good. While we're doing that, Mick and Ted, you guys are now in a tree.
So, right. Spend a little time climbing up. And
No,
start
wait a minute.
climbing
I'm sorry.
down.
I have to totally retcon this. I took you guys back way too far.
I'm just like, I don't think this
No,
sounds right.
No,
But we'll
sorry.
go with it.
I don't know what was. Wow.
It's
That's
a
just
tree. It was
that's
a
just a
tree
lack of
underneath the
focus moment.
bridge.
No, you're on the bridge. I have to retcon. As everything changes, Blake is still falling off of a bridge. It's just a different bridge. Jesus, Kevin, come on, get your brain together. It's like you do this several days a week. You can keep your story straight, I think, but apparently not. Blake, you are plummeting now, holding this spike, falling out of the bridge towards the Thames. Sorry, Tyler. Yeah, you hit the water, sploosh, but it's clean-ish water. It's
How
just
deep
a
is it?
river. You kind of you do that the and you watch the bubbles fade away above you. You come to the stop and you kind of have to pull a couple times to get back to the surface.
Oh, I'm gonna be kicking and trying to keep
yeah.
like someone with their expensive drone, just
what's
trying to
that?
keep my camera out of the water. Then, just, whew, whew.
You didn't
It
pay
has
for
the
the
GoPro like
waterproof?
waterproof case
Yep.
on
Oh
it
yeah.
because
Damn straight it does. Yeah.
of
Yeah.
course.
So it does the whole plummet. In that case, yeah, the whole plummet with you. So you're just like with the handheld selfie shot of you plummeting into the depths and then swimming back to the surface with it in your pack. All of that. And the other two of you are clung to the side of a stanky, nasty wooden version of London Bridge. We're going to start with Blake and Tyler because you're actually. Well, let's start with Tyler. You come to the surface, and here comes Blake. You now this roll take. Now we're back to the rolls that
Roll.
you get out of the way. Blake, you are plummeting towards the water. Resist damage for me. So roll a few resistance.
Is it easier to resist because now it's water and not
Injury
ground?
die?
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
That injury die, right?
Yes. No, not the injury die. Just roll a d8. We'll say you're. Yeah. There you go.
There we go. I'm
Perfect.
ready to go.
Yeah. You and then into the water and come up beside one of the pilings. Again, these are all wooden pilings now.
Ooh.
They're starting to rot and whatnot. What do the two of you do?
This
Good.
is 12:34, so
Yep.
he's gonna go. This water smells like a different type of bad. We should get out of this. It's I think STP. He's just gonna like
Yeah.
try and get out.
Mickey from the top of the bridge just sells. The Russians give you a 6.2 and a 7.1.
And yeah, you're absolutely right. This has been a unfiltered city for some 1,200 years at this point. So yes, yeah, different kind of stink, a very natural smell.
Now, for us,
Yeah, natural.
are we able to get up any way to get up onto the top of the bridge from
Oh,
these pylons?
absolutely. Yeah, the pylons are on the outside of the deck, but looking
Okay.
up from where the two of you are, in particular, because you're closer, we'll quickly cut to you guys as the other two get washed away in the river. You look up and see the bridge deck, and it is built from one end to the other. There's a very narrow path, hardly one cart width wide down the middle that people aren't either living on or open a business on. There's places where people have got, like, they've piled dirt up and they're farming on the bridge. You don't have to be an engineer to realize this is not going to last. London Bridge is literally going to fall down unless somebody does something about it. The two of you in the water have a more direct method of realizing this because as you're floating alongside the big pylons, you can see chunks of them coming off.
Oh,
It's
dear,
like
this
rotten
is
cedar, you know how
good.
you can grab it, like pull off handfuls of it.
Yeah. This is
Oh,
not good at all.
that's not supposed to do that, right? It's really just peeling.
No, Tyler. Let's get out of here and try and find somebody who's in charge.
Okay. Yeah, try and scramble out
You
to the side.
yes,
See if there's
scramble
is there
out of
people like
your-
on the bridge or is it like
Oh, it's nuts. As you guys sort of swim to the shore, you look up and all of you can see it is. You know that house every Christmas that puts up way too many lights? Like it's just like, no, I shouldn't say way too many. They put up a lot more lights than anyone else in the neighborhood. That's less judgmental. It's like that. It's like ants in a disturbed anthill. They are they've used the wires, the suspension wires, to like hang hammocks to sleep. And then that's developed into people sort of building three-dimensional sort of bivouac tents. It's like humans are growing this thing into a termite mound.
Oh,
So Mick is like probably perched on top of one of these pylons. It's kind of like
Sure,
half
yep.
watching Blake and Tyler getting blown away by the river.
Yep, they're heading for sure. They're gonna make it.
And he like looks around and he just imagines like I imagine it's like one of those like I can't remember the name, but like very impoverished communities where it's basically just houses on top of houses
Oh
on
yeah,
top of
exactly.
houses.
Yep, that is exactly what this is. It's a clapboard.
And
yeah.
Mick just looks around and he's just like sheerly overwhelmed by this massive humanity that is here.
Yep. And as I'm just gonna sort of bring you guys together at one end of the bridge just to make it easy.
Yeah.
But it's
That's the word, Shantytown.
Yeah, but there's one other part to it. There's a hustle. Like you can just feel it. It's like a pulse. Everybody out there is going all day as hard as they can just to stay afloat. There is a level of desperation on that bridge that is just coming off of it like the smell coming off the river below.
are we supposed to let it collapse or stop it from collapsing?
I think like we should just try to save as many of the people as we can because I don't think we have the know-how to stop this bridge from going down.
Okay.
But if we like can like at least get all the people off and like tell them that what they did to this version of the bridge, they can't do again. Otherwise, it's just gonna keep happening over and over and over again.
There's a lot of people though. Like trying to get them all to move all of a sudden it could be dangerous. It's like shining fire in a crowded theater.
Which is why we need to try and get them off little by little, section by section, I think.
Is there anybody around?
I
that
have
looks
a
like
very terrible idea.
a figure of authority.
Quickly gonna answer that first. Tyler, you sort of look around. It makes sense to me. It's like who's in charge, right? That's a very logical thing.
Who looks not covered in filth, to quote Monty Python.
Yes, yes. He's the king. How can you tell? He's the only one not covered in shit. Yeah. Yes. Considering I raced a Monty Python liveried car in my e-racing game last night, thank you for the callback. Got great reviews. Never mind this show. You look around for that figure of authority, and what you see is there's kind of this it's almost invisible, but there's bridge people and not bridge people, and you can tell because there's kind of a market at one end of the bridge that's much prettier than what's going on out in the center of the bridge. So it's kind of cut off. It's almost like its own little world. There's very little traffic over it.
But there's just people living on the bridge.
It's turning into a neighborhood rather than a bridge, yes. A bad neighborhood. Mickey, you ummed twice now. And then we'll get to
I've had multiple very terrible ideas.
We'll get to Blake's right after this idea. So yeah. What are you doing, Mick?
So my first terrible idea was the brute force approach, which is just lying to pass and having a stampede of the English equivalent of buffalo come through and make people get off the bridge or be turned into stampeded by buffalo.
That would be a very large
My
lie. It's
second-
possible. Yeah.
My second less destructive idea is a callback to what we did 6,000 years ago and be like, you guys aren't being excellent to each other right now. Like, look at this. We have the haves and the have-nots going on right now. This is not excellent.
Blake. Yeah.
Well, I'm also going to do a callback to a different episode since we're doing callbacks here.
Sure.
I have the power of deception.
Mm-hmm.
Monarchy at the time, was it a king or a queen?
I'm gonna go with king.
Most likely king.
Very, very, very likely. Yeah.
Okay.
Which one? I'd have to look it up.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I have deception,
Yeah.
and I have. Let's see here.
Henry the Third,
Hold on.
if
Oh,
you
there
want
we go.
that.
Yeah. Thank you. Perfect.
And then you know what? I studied for
Thank you.
this,
You studied for this. Okay.
so I came prepared.
What do you know about Henry III?
I don't know anything about him.
Okay.
But in real life, I don't really know anything.
That's all good.
But to be honest, what Blake would have done because of the deception,
Yeah.
she would have brought items like what she did with and kind of pull what she did like with the queen,
Okay.
but make it as the king instead.
Okay.
So basically, make themselves look like the king,
All right.
and just try and use deception to tell them, okay, guys, that's enough. This bridge cannot handle this anymore. We need to move on now, please.
Oh.
You know,
Okay.
just trying to go at it about the polite way.
Okay. Anybody going to assist with that and or have another idea?
Um,
We're just gonna scoot around the
shoot,
table. if you
we'll
don't mind.
we'll throw some good old Mickey O'Hooligan charm on that. Where so Mick is going to saunter up and does this completely over the top bow
So you
and
do
says,
the footman job. Okay.
"Yep."
Yeah. Perfect. All right. Do you have deception or any such thing? Acting.
I was going charming.
Okay, that works. So that's a D8. So that's 2 D8 so far. Tyler.
Tyler will run towards the shanty town
Yeah.
and put on his best English accent. That's
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
of just being like, "Oi, the king's coming! The king's coming!
Okay.
Oh, he doesn't. He thinks
So-
that there's too many people here. We gotta pick a representative. Who's the leader here?" Like essentially being like, "Before they evict us all, we gotta negotiate." He's
Right.
gonna just proclaim that loudly and try and get someone to be like, "Oh, I'm the leader."
So I have a
Perfect.
question.
Yeah.
So one of my cards only pertains to side goals, but we don't do side goals.
Oh, okay. Throw it away. I'll give you another card.
Yes, because it says if you believe you achieved your side goal, you can re-roll those who die.
Hang on. There you go. And so you're gonna. What skill were you using for that, Tyler?
That's ooh, I do have deception.
Okay.
Oh,
that's-
self-deception.
3D8 so far.
But
Five.
I'm yeah.
Yeah.
D8.
Well, I could switch to deception and make it a D10 on my end because I have
Ooh.
2 points in deception.
Sure, let's do that. Okay, so with that, we come around to the ever-patient Ted. You've had a couple seconds to sort of think this through. You see what the other ones are doing, the entourage approach. They are an eye blink away from the Churchill 3.
Well, I have a card
Yep.
sizing things up.
Oh,
Spend
yes.
this scene focused on an opponent obstacle or situation. Boost the die in future scenes relating to what you have observed.
Perfect. And that's
So-
going to boost and, oh, yes.
So looking at the bridge, looking
Yep.
at the amount of people we have here,
Oh yeah.
And because I do have woodworking,
Yes.
I understand this bridge and the condition it's in, and I kind of go, we cannot have them stampeding.
Yep.
That will put too much vibration into this, and this sucker will just go down. So he's been looking at all this situation, and he's like, okay, royalty has to have them remove and they gather your items and please wait, but in an orderly fashion. I shall not have chaos on my bridge.
Right.
Kind
So
of
you're gonna great. So what skill would that be?
Um,
And we're boosting your next roll on this as well, which we're gonna get to
Well, I
really
have-
quick because we're about to skip to Act 3, where everything's boosted.
yeah, so I have either perceptive or I have woodworking for the bridge.
I like the
whole-
woodworking. Perfect.
So I have the
So-
woodworking. That's a D8.
So you explain to them they're logical people. They can understand that this joint doesn't support that weight. So the four of you go rolling in as the official entourage to clear the bridge. Harumph, harumph, harumph. I need 3 D8s and a D10, please, from Blake. This is going to be extremely difficult thing to do for you.
3 D8s and a D10.
Yes, some would say very hard. There's the 3 D8s. Oh, and the D10. Oh dear.
Well, the
Okay.
D10 doesn't do it.
We're I'm not. That's
You-
not gonna
There's
stand.
a card. Okay. Reroll
Not
an
letting that
action
happen.
and
Reroll an
boost.
action and boost the die,
All right.
please.
So now I need 3 D10s and a D12.
D12. Oh, there's a
Okay,
9.
right, there's a 9, yeah. And a 10.
And a
There
10.
it is. All right.
Yes.
There
So
we go.
you start with the speech. The royalty requires that you leave. And they don't go away. They turn and start coming towards you.
Mhm.
Like there might be a regicide about to occur. These are the poorest of the poor. The king has moved on and said to the only place that they're living, they got, or the king has showed up and said, you all need to piss off now. So they start to come towards you. And I'm going to presume to turn that into a success, you use that to your advantage and just start backing slowly away. It's working. You're drawing people off the bridge.
True. That sounds like a good idea.
Because we're going with ridiculous. This works. They're coming off the bridge, but they're coming off the bridge. I see worried
I'll-
faces. Let's start with Tyler. Yeah.
I'll add and I do it with style. Can that
Okay.
apply to someone else's success?
And
It's any success.
And oh
Yeah, into a success and.
I
So
know.
if this is a
Oh.
partial
Wait,
success,
this is a six. This is an almost. So yeah, or this is a success. So turn it into a. Or this is an almost. So yeah, turn any success into a success and do it. Yeah, absolutely.
okay. So
In your
and during all
inevitable-
this like mass migration,
Yep.
a representative that has been peacefully elected of the people
Yes.
that are on the bridge actually does present themselves, put themselves forward,
Yep.
and is going to talk with Tyler and
What the Tyler?
and Ted,
Yeah.
and maybe pops his head out or her head out and goes, someone say something about the wood not being good. Like someone that actually like
Yes.
understand
Yep.
or recognizes and has authority enters the scene.
Oh, history joke incoming. You hear in the distance somebody say, "Who's in charge then? That kid?" He says, "What kid?" He says, "That one over there." "What? The Tyler?" "What, the Tyler? Starting a revolution?" I just had to get it in there. He doesn't even require responding to. He's just showing off. Anyway, with that, this is that moment where they all get over that last pillar and you see the inevitable happening. They start to do this. It starts to collapse and you can see the hunt for you turn into a rampage. They're coming off the bridge just in waves. They no longer require any assistance in motivating
And I'm
them.
assuming
to
they're going in
leaving.
both directions this time.
Yes, and you watch as those two sets of things just sort of cross each other. The wires start to snap, twang. The people are running. It wasn't that good, chat, but never mind. The people are running off of both ends of the bridge. Wood is shattering and popping in the distance. You can see it falling down into the river. Amazingly, because it's fiction, with a little help from you guys, pulling the last few off as that last big chunk of the roadway just gives way and falls into the Thames. The tide slowly carries it into the darkening, slowly sun-rising distance. Nope, because the sun's coming up to the east. So the sun's coming up behind you as the flotsam floats off to the west.
Mm.
And there's this mass of people just milling around the end of where the bridge used to be.
But nobody dead, right?
Nobody seems to have died. You can see there's a smaller group at the other end of the bridge, but where the other end of the bridge was, but there's not really much you can do about them. Therefore, they're okay. But you guys are now in the process of this fuss. Do you still look like you did? Are you still pretending to be the king?
Yeah.
Okay. So they sort of look around and sort of moving sort of towards you and form this sort of semicircle around you. They're muttering a bit. But eventually, yeah, they're on the brink of revolution. At that moment, what do each of you do, starting with Mick?
Okay, so
And this is all boosted because this is the moment.
I'm going to tell them a story.
Okay.
A story of the Bill and Ted people, and how for thousands of years these people were excellent to each other and were the nicest people that anyone ever encountered. And if the Bill and Ted people could see them today and how they were acting to each other from the ends of the bridge towards those who were on it, they would be disappointed in where they are now. They have forgotten what it means to be excellent to each other, and they can't forget that core value, and that they have to be excellent to each other in the future. And if they do that, perhaps this won't happen again.
Okay, Blake, what do you do? Dressed as the king.
Yeah, I've seen this before.
Okay.
So yeah, now I've used all my cards. Yee!
Yeah.
First time.
So we are massively, multiply boosted.
I remember a time when I was, first in college, just a few years ago, and there was like a similar situation where everybody was gathering around the student body because the student body was just misbehaving and what they ended up doing to resolve everything. So I'm going to basically think while I look around and then try and remember what the map looks like, and then remember, oh wait, there was that one place that Callum was talking about that's just like a barren area that was originally supposed to be apartments.
Okay.
And I'm like, let's go ahead and start selling them over there. So as the king, they are going to tell the crowd, I know of a perfect place for a lot of you displaced folks to go.
So you're going to promise them land. Okay.
So I would tell them where the location is and say, anyone who has any building experience, please help out. I will definitely make sure that the supplies are given so that you can make this place a nice place for everybody to live in.
Perfect. Ted?
So
everyone, please sit down. It's time for a TED Talk. I've been waiting episodes for this. Episodes.
So, welcome to my TED Talk. Yeah, today's episode will feature Ted basically looking about the crowd and having used the previous card he played to basically size up the situation and everything.
You are double boosted. Yeah.
He sits there and he points out it's like, Now, this bridge nearly took your lives, but keep in mind, the king here has saved it by drawing you to him, thus making sure you all lived in this moment of danger and tragedy.
Okay.
Now, let this bridge that nearly killed you, the remains of it here shall be the starts of your new home. Start using some of these blankets that still remain here to give you the basis and the foundations of a new life.
So
And
speeches all
starts pointing
around.
out the various wood that's still
Yep.
viable.
Yep.
The-
To carry on tradition, because apparently that's very important to people who like to colonize the world. Never mind. Well, yeah. It's tradition. The man of no traditions, Tyler. What do you do in this? You see, I want to paint the picture for a second because you see the three adults all talking, just lips flapping, ideas flying around the place. What is your response?
So as part of the last card,
Yeah.
or the card that that Tyler played, he was looking for a representative
Yep.
or a figurehead.
Mm-hmm.
So that person exists
Yep.
in the
they do.
space.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And I think Tyler's just gonna turn to them. I think still with the bad English accent, and is gonna be like, "Wow, if you think about it, you all and the king, the difference between you was just 100 feet. You think about it, life is precious, and you got to look out for each other because anything can happen." And he's just gonna try and instill more wisdom, I guess, of
Yeah.
just being like, everyone should be thankful, and he's gonna, I don't know, not lie, but inception an idea of like life is precious,
Yeah.
and people are
Absolutely.
chance
Yep.
happens.
I love this. So, between the be excellent to each other, the king promising them a safe place, a place to go, that statement being backed up by somebody who says, look, we can do this. You can physically do it yourself. You don't have to count on promises. We can do this. And that final touch of that, you finding that one person, they're not a leader, they don't have a title, they're just that one person that everybody respects, the one that's never done a dirty deal, the one that people go to as a sort of impromptu judge. You find that person and they do that weird adult thing, Tyler, where they just kind of walk from group to group. They sort of put their hand on somebody's neck and say a couple words and walk away, and you see the people stand up taller and start to really like lift these logs and things and carry the detritus of this thing down the road to start building these new places. And he just keeps walking from group to group to group, and you never hear what he says to any of them. And then finally he comes all the way back around to you. He says, I'm gonna very quietly take all the credit for this, but what did you say your name was?
You could, it's fine. It's just I've been reading the Bible, and that's just what the words say. And he just stares towards the person who probably I know that the printing press doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Who's just going to be like, that's what it says. I was just quoting it.
And,
sorry, I was just quoting it. He's still doing the bad English accent.
And they grin at you and say, don't make me throw you in the river. Just your name. I just want to know.
Can.
It's TJ.
And he holds his hand out to you, this calloused, worn, working human being, middle-aged man's hand, to you as an equal, and waits for you to shake it.
All right. He's gonna shake his hand.
And he looks at you and says, I've got this weird feeling you're not going to be around for long, so Just one more thing before you go. Where's that accent from?
Oh, okay, I'm a time traveler. I'm really not from around here. I'm from like way in the future. Just don't not a word of this, okay?
And as you say that, this the perfect timing. The four of you, all this world starts to do that, the fade, where it just all of a sudden somebody in OBS is turning down the opacity on this world. Right? It just fades away into the perfect blackness and pops back. And you're under the bridge. Meep, meep, honk, honk, map, 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 map. The traffic going on. You're on the jet skis because we bring you back to always a safe place. We're not having you going to splash into the river and have to swim out again. You're on the jet skis at the base of the bridge with you look around and like I said, surrounded by modern, loud, stinky in a different way, 21st century London. You look up. This bridge is stunning. It's like it's almost like a hollow framework. I'm trying to think of the building. It's just a tall. It almost looks like a vase, but it's just like it's wrapped in wire. But it's just this beautiful artistic form. You can hear it sort of thrumming and moving with the water and the wind. It's just, you can see it moving. It works with this environment. And it's absolutely crystal clean. There's not a billboard. There's not a sign on the sidewalks. There's nothing. It's just hanging in space with all the cars going back and forth across it.
Well, Tyler, that's the kinds of things that happen when we talk in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's that we just like made buildings look cooler. So
Yeah.
This
This
time.
But you
would be
remember
what
it.
my generation calls bodacious.
But you got to remember now, you actually remember what it looked like before.
yeah, well it'll still be and he's gonna double check that the new Spider-Man movies are all the same.
Yeah.
Changed is the Tower of London or the London Bridge scene. No
Yep.
Way Home.
Yeah, there it's it still works. The movie, but it just uses the new bridge. So even
Okay.
cooler. Yeah.
All right, wicked.
Yeah. But anyone else? This is the bridge that's always been here. We're the
Yeah, I
ones
wonder.
with the double memory.
Okay, good. Yeah, I don't want anyone to think I've gone a little cuckoo. Has like architecture changed in London, like to follow suit with this, or is it just the bridge? Is it like we've like morphed all
The
architecture?
the bridge itself is the obvious thing, but since you asked the question, as you look around, there's there's a difference in the architecture. The new stuff looks somehow it uses a lot of tensegrity. I love that word, and I love the idea of tension. But yeah, this it's the word I'm looking for is safer. You can just tell just looking around. The whole downtown core of London is just ever so slightly safer than it used to be, especially right around the bridge.
The buildings were built with care.
Wow.
And you guys, for the purpose,
And no one died.
no one died. Perfect. And you jump on the jet skis and the camera drops down to the level of the Thames and watches that white sort of phosphorescent wave as the two I see two jet skis with two on each one just off into the distance. And the camera pans up and away from London and off, sort of does that long haul up into space. But as you can see more and more of London, you can see these subtle changes. You'd have to live there to know. But every bridge that's been built since, every bridge in London, to be fair, is newer, safer. Roads are straighter, they're wider, they're the roundabouts are a little bit bigger. Everything is just that fractional little bit safer that happens after a disaster. And that is where we will drop the curtain on tonight before you guys get back. Whew. I enjoyed that episode a lot because we really didn't spend much time on the technical story. Like less than half of it was getting shit done, right? Which I love.
I will bullshit in character
Oh,
as
and
long as
that's-
you let me.
Yes, absolutely, and I love it because that's the cool part. I keep, people keep saying, "Oh, you don't do enough combat." You don't have to. I'm not interested in combat. Somebody wins, somebody loses. Who cares? I want to see these characters develop. I want to see them come up with great ideas. I want to see them struggle. I want to see them deal with success and deal with failure, talk to each other, get confused, get mad, whatever it is. I'm here for the people. That to me was where the story is. So, thank you to the people playing the people. Thank you very much to Sean, Aaron, Eddie, and Solar. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. This game is always fun. It always makes me sweat because I never know what's going to go on in my games, but in this game I can't know because you guys can change it, and it also lets me say my favorite words in roleplay, which is "I like your idea better. Let's do that." And we got to do that several times tonight, so thank you for that. This game is so much fun. We're changing history as we go. Thank you all people in chat. There wasn't a whole ton of you, but thank you to all the people watching on the VOD. There's more of you there.
Thank you.
Anybody watching on YouTube in the future, if you watched all the way to here, I'm going to presume you liked it, so hit the buttons, all the buttons, if you wouldn't mind. It's 3 clicks. So give us a click on all of them, and then you'll know what's coming up on all of our other shows, too. We do serious stuff, we do funny stuff, we do stuff in between, and we do stuff we can't talk about yet. But isn't that fun? Oh, it's so much fun being part of something that you can't talk about yet. It's so rock star. Anyway, with that, there's only one thing left. It's the important bit. Until next time, please be nice to each other. Good night.
everyone.
Thank
Good night,
you, Kevin.
everyone.
Oh, thank you. Good night.
Thank you.